Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome. My name is Ellie and I'm currently 18 weeks pregnant. In today's video, I'm going to do 20 baby names that we love and may not use. I don't know. We don't have anything set in stone yet, so I'm not ruling anything out, but these are on the list of names that I just cannot get my husband on board with. So if we're not going to use them, I at least want to pass them along to other moms to be who are looking for baby names. Even before I got pregnant, I have always had a running list of baby names on my phone, and I update it all the time. When I'm like watching a TV show or a movie or listening to a podcast, I hear a name that I really like and I'll just jot it down on the app in my phone. I would describe my taste in baby names as kind of like unique but not ridiculous. Like, I don't want it to be like a pretentious celebrity type of baby name, but I also want it to be like unique enough where it's a little uncommon. I also find myself a lot more drawn to vintage names and like grandma names. I don't know, I just really like those classic names. I had no idea before I got pregnant that trying to agree on names was gonna be so hard. I was like, I have this kick-ass list of names, how could he not like them? But there are definitely some on my list that he doesn't agree with. And I will definitely be making another one of these videos after we do find out the gender and we can kind of narrow down our list a little bit. I will probably put out another video like this with more names that we may or may not use. Honestly, I'm not ruling anything out still. So I have 10 girl names and 10 boy names. I'm gonna try and run through these pretty quick, but I'm gonna start with the girl names and then I'll do the boy names afterwards. But the first girl name I have is Vera. I heard this name on a TV show that I really liked. I can't remember what show it was, but I just think it's such a sweet name. It works really well for babies, but I also think that it's a very like adult woman name also. The only thing I don't like about Vera is that there's not really a nickname for it. I really like having names that have nicknames also. The next girl name is Lola, another really short name. I think I also really like names that end in "a," but I think Lola is such a sweet name. It's just like very girly and sweet. The next name is probably like my favorite ever, and I swear I was going to name my baby this, but one of my good friends had a baby probably almost 2 years ago now, and she used this name before I could, and that is the name Nora. I just think it's like the sweetest little name ever. Once again, kind of short, ending in the "a." It works really well for little babies, but also really well for grown-ups too. The next name I have is Poppy, and I think this is such a sweet and girly little name also. I like names that are named after plants and flowers. I think that that's really cute. And Poppy, it's just like a little different, but I guess there is that one like famous YouTube girl whose name is Poppy and she's like, I'm Poppy. But yeah, I can't get Chris on board, and one of like another person I know has a newborn with this name. Not that you can't use a name because someone you know also uses the name, but I just really like the idea of having something different than at least the people in my life that I know. The next name I have on here is Ophelia. I think Ophelia is the cutest little name ever. There's the Lumineers song called Ophelia, which is a cute song. I think it's really pretty. I like that it starts with an O that feels a little uncommon, but also just doesn't seem like there is a good nickname for Ophelia. I don't know, I really like that name, so we'll see what happens. The next girl name is Marjorie, which I go back and forth with. I see it on my list and I like it, and then I don't like it, and sometimes I feel like it's maybe a little too vintage, like a little too like old lady-ish. But I think I wrote this one down originally from the Game of Thrones character, Marjorie. And I just remember watching that show and she was like so pretty. Maybe it was better in their accent when they would call her Marjorie, but I don't know, that one stuck with me and I really liked that, and I had it on my list for a really long time. You can kind of shorten it too to like Margie or something like that. The next name I have on here is Caroline. I love this name. I think it's so sweet. It's just like such a good classic name. You could definitely shorten it to a lot of different nicknames. I love this name because of the Vampire Diaries. I love Caroline's character on the Vampire Diaries, and I don't know, I think because of that show the name really stuck with me. The next name I have on here I found from like a vintage baby name list, and it's the name Dot. which I think is so cute. It's so cute, but it's so short. And I think that Dot is normally a nickname for a longer name like Dorothy and things like that. But I don't like those names. I like just Dot on its own. I love the name, but I don't know if I could actually see myself naming my baby Dot. I don't know, maybe if I had a different D name that I could use it as a nickname for, but I do think it's like a really sweet little nickname or name for a little girl. The next name is Ellie. This is not a super unique name at all. It's a pretty classic name, but I don't know why it sticks out to me so much. Probably because it's almost Allie. I just think it sounds so sweet. Ellie. And I think that it would probably look really cute written out in cursive. Also, I think that was the wife on the movie Up, and that movie like tugs in my heartstrings, but it is a little too close to Allie. I don't think we could have like an Allie and an Ellie. So yeah, we probably won't use Ellie, but I do really, really love that name. And then the last name I have on here is one that I really like but won't be using because it's my coworker's name and I don't want to like name my baby after a coworker. So that is the name Lillian. I like this spelling too. It's a little different than like the classic way that you see Lillian spelled a lot. I just think it's a really sweet name and I like that you can shorten it to Lily. It has a lot of nickname options. It's like one of my friends slash coworkers' names, so I don't want to use a name like that close, if you know what I mean. Those are all of the girl names. So now on to the boy names. The first boy name I have written down is Jude. I think Jude is so cute. It's such a good name. I think I got this one from a TV show too. I like love jotting down names I hear from TV shows. I think this one was on like the Fosters and also like the Beatles, Hey Jude, the song and everything. I just think it's a really sweet name that once again works for like a little kid, but also works well for an adult, and it's really short and just short and sweet. And the next one, I love this name, but it has gotten so popular recently, and that is Liam. I know this name is gonna be so popular in a couple years where it's gonna be like there's 10 Liams in a class. I just don't want to use a name that's going to be in like the top 25 most popular names of the year or whatever, but I do really love the name. I think it's a really sweet name, but yeah, just gotten like a little too popular for my liking. The next name is Finley. I love the name Finley. I think it's so cute. It's so cute, but it also works really well for a man, I think. I love that it can be shortened to Finn. I think Finn is a really cute name for a little boy. I'm mostly not gonna use this name because it's my dad's dog's name, and that just feels so not right to name my baby the same name as my dad's dog, but I do really love that name. The next name I have is another name from a TV show, and this one is Hawk. At first, I feel like this can sound like a little ridiculous, but it just grew on me so much. This was from that Hulu show called The Path. Like the main character's son in that show, his name was Hawk, and it just like worked really well for him. It's really unique, but it doesn't feel super ridiculous either. Chris doesn't like it because he doesn't want it to be like Tony Hawk, but I don't know, I really like the name Hawk. I would definitely want to use that for a boy if Chris would let me. The next name I have on here is Silas. I love the name Silas. I think it's so cute. I love names that end in S. I just think it flows really nicely. But I do know a few people named Silas, and I have a few friends who have kids named Silas, so I don't necessarily want to use it just because it feels like a little more common, but I do think it's such a great name. Also another TV show name, The Sun and Weeds, his name was Silas, and it just like worked so well for him. But also our last name is Scott, and so sometimes having too many S's, I feel like it could be a little overkill, like Silas Scott. I don't know, it kind of works. We'll see what happens, but I don't know if we'll necessarily use Silas. The next name I have would definitely be in my top 5 names that I love, but I just cannot get Chris on board with it, and that is the name Sonny. And I heard this name because of Whitney Port. I love watching Whitney Port's YouTube channel, and she named her son Sonny, and it's just so cute. The only thing is I feel like it could sound like a little young. I don't necessarily know how well this name would like grow. Sonny. I don't know, like I guess it just depends on the person. Chris doesn't like it because his mom always called him Sonny Boy when he was growing up, and so that's what it makes him think of. But I just think it's a really cute name, and it's unique, but it doesn't feel so ridiculous or anything. The next name I have on here is Lincoln. This name I don't think is super uncommon, but I definitely don't hear it a lot. But I just think it's a really cute, good name for a boy, Lincoln. I think I hear this name more often for little girls. I don't know, I think it works really well for both. I like gender neutral names like that could kind of go for little boys or girls. Lincoln, I think that's a cute name. The next name I have on here is Luka, or also Lucas. They're kind of similar. I think that if I wanted to use the name Luka, I would just go with Lucas and then call them Luka. But this name too has just gotten so popular, and I see why. It's such a cute name, Luka. I really like the name Lucas from One Tree Hill. Lucas Scott, loved him, amazing. Just gotten really, really popular lately, and I don't know. I don't want to rule this one out necessarily. I do really like the name, so we'll see. I'm not ruling anything out on this list. The next name I have on here is Kingsley. I feel like this is another name that could really go both ways. It could work really well for a little girl or a little boy. It's just kind of another one that feels a little young. I always watched that really funny YouTuber Kingsley when I was growing up. The final name that I have on the list is Slack. This one is a family name. It was a last name on my husband's side of the family. I feel like it's a really strong name, but maybe like a little too uncommon to the point where people would be like, what is your name? What's your name? Slack. I don't want them to like compare my kid to Pants or anything like that. So maybe for even like a middle name, I really like the idea of using last names as middle names and things like that. But I wanted to add it to this list because I do really like that name. Something I have been using a lot when trying to think of baby name ideas for this baby is this website called babynamewizard.com, and I'll link it down below. But there is one thing on this website where you can kind of check the popularity of a name that you're interested in. If you have a name that you like, you can type it into this baby name tool. It will basically tell you how popular of a name it is and like at what year it was the most popular. So you could type in like Christopher or Allie and it would tell you like really, really popular in the 90s. It'll also tell you how many hundreds of thousands of people were named that name at any specific time. So if you are really interested in a unique name and maybe you found a name that you think is really unique, but you put it into this, it might be like really popular right now, and that will let you know. It also just has a bunch of lists like the top 10 most popular names in America right now and things like that. So you can kind of check over those to make sure that if you do want something a little bit more unique, that it's not on the list of like most popular names of the moment. So I will have that linked down below in the description box if you want to check that out and browse some baby names or make sure that your baby name is as unique as you think it is. That is all of the baby names I have for this video. Like I said, I do want to make another one of these here soon once we can narrow down our list a little bit more. If you guys have any baby name suggestions for me, it would be greatly appreciated. Please leave them in the comments below. I need all of the inspiration I can get trying to name this baby. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And I will see you guys all in my next video.